The jack-o'-lantern promises candy.
But see, if you would come right here and do something cute, that'd be a great intro. That is absolutely perfect. Yeah, that was perfect.
Hello new friends, hello old friends, and welcome to my channel. For those who don't know, my name is May, and happy Halloween! Okay, I know it's August, but hear me out. There's like a message and some information in this video that I'm really hoping will have time to spread before Halloween. Not necessarily this video gets shared, but like talk about this maybe in your own videos or on other platforms or in real life to actual humans that you're near. But yeah, this is something that's been on my mind for actually a couple of years. I don't know why I chose this year to actually get to it, but here we go. The message in this video is Halloween is for everyone. Everyone. While it did have roots in ancient, why was that so hard to say? It did have roots in ancient Celtic traditions. Comparing ancient Samhain to current Canadian Halloween, it's kind of like comparing Chihuahuas and Timberwolves. Yes, they share a common ancestor, but they are not the same. I think we can all agree at this point, Canadian Halloween is, I don't want to say its own thing, but kind of like its own thing. I say Canadian specifically because I can only talk about my half of the continent. I imagine a lot of what I'm saying still counts in the US, but like I said, I can only speak for what I know, right? Okay, so part of what started this, we'll throw some context in here. I grew up in Toronto, the world's most multicultural city. I almost said on the planet, that's so redundant. The world's most multicultural city on the planet. I should have written a script for this, but I didn't, so bear with me. Grew up in Toronto, and when I was in school, every year we had like a new batch of people from places that didn't have Halloween. So every year we'd get to explain to the new kids Halloween and how great it was and why it exists and everything was awesome. And I remember, this is probably going to make this video too long, I remember one year, one of the kids that we had explained it to the year before got so excited to be able to explain it to the new kid in their native language. Like, so excited. And then it occurred to me that if you're new here and you don't have kids, maybe it's not being explained appropriately. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, like, it was one thing for the kids and they'd go home and they'd tell their parents and it was all like a thing, but if you don't have kids, no one's coming home from school and telling you. So here I am telling you. Halloween is for everyone. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what language you speak at home, does not matter anything at all, unless your religion specifically outlaws fun. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, you can Halloween. Come, play with us. Come, it's fun. It's fun. Now for the details, if you want to opt out, because it's important to know that you can. No one's forcing you to Halloween. So if you don't want to play, traditionally you turn off the porch light, which is just whatever light is shining on your front door, you turn that off and then people know that you can't trick-or-treat there. If you can't turn the front light off, and I mean, I get it, not everybody has a 9 to 5, sometimes the light needs to stay on. One thing you can do is like draw a picture of like a jack-o'-lantern and then put like a big cross through it, like a big X, and put that on your door and then kids will know not to go there. What you do not do, you do not ever do, you do not ever do, is stand on your lawn yelling at little kids that they're going to hell. Okay, story time. When I was a kid, we had this Mormon family. Their house was on a corner, so they would stand on the corner of the street literally shouting scriptures. Like, who does that? If you don't want to play, fine, but like, don't be crazy about it. Okay, so, now that that's out of the way, the way to opt in, the way to tell everybody that you are Halloweening this year, is you need a jack-o'-lantern. I don't have a jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. Last year, the family across the street from us, they came trick-or-treating with their kid, and their porch light was on, and no one went there because they didn't have a jack-o'-lantern. And I remember at least twice the woman who lives there, I don't know her name, she came out, she was like looking around, and I thought about going over and being like, are you Halloweening because you need a jack-o'-lantern? But then if she wasn't Halloweening, I feel like that would be really awkward. So I'm making a video saying, you need more than just your porch light on, because like I said, sometimes people need the porch light on. So yeah, the jack-o'-lantern is very important. You don't have to carve your own, although I highly recommend it. It feels cool, it smells cool, and when you put the candle in it and it burns it just a little bit, that's like nostalgia. And if you're new, I feel like you should experience it. If you or someone you know has like sensory issues, then it will either be amazing or the worst experience ever. So keep that in mind. Another option is to get like an electric one, or like an LED one, or one of those blow-up ones, or one of those, like, it's like a garden stake, but it's got like a little pumpkin on it with a jack-o'-lantern face. Literally any kind of jack-o'-lantern, as long as it is displayed and everyone can see it, that's how you say that you are going to Halloween. Okay, how to opt out, how to opt in, how to trick-or-treat. Unfortunately, some jackasses have decided that there's an age limit on trick-or-treating. Personally, I don't believe that. I think if you're gonna bother with the costume and going out, that you should be rewarded. But generally, unfortunately, the rules for trick-or-treating as far as age goes, depending on how old you look, you could probably get away with it until you're like 18. The very last time I went trick-or-treating and actually got anything, I was 20, but like just turned, well, not just turned, because March versus October, but I was like 20. I just wanted to see if I could. And if you are an older trick-or-treater, please note that there are certain times when certain age groups are expected to trick-or-treat. For example, the youngest of children usually comes sometime between 5 and 6 in the evening. And then the second group, they're like, 7 to 8. And then most people close up shop around 9. Personally, I stay out until 10, at least, because I feel like the older kids should have a chance, but like don't wait too long, but also don't be one of those people that's like at the door at like 4:30, especially if you're like an older trick-or-treater. Oh, I forgot to put on earrings. Huh. Okay. And if you are the one behind the door, and you're the one giving out candy, please, 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 do not just put out a giant bowl of candy and expect children to be able to control themselves. It's mean to everyone. That one kid that got all the candy is going to forever be thought of as that little jerk that stole all the candy. The other kids aren't going to get any candy at all, and your house is going to become that one that never has candy. My neighbor does that. He'll put out a bowl and then ignore it all night. And then he's like, oh, were there a lot of kids? No, there was one kid, and he was a jerk. So, and I've had this conversation, argument before. I said, please hand out your candy, don't just put bowls out. And someone was like, but what if you're disabled? I too am disabled. I have problems getting up and down a bunch of times. So for me to get up and go to the door every time it rings, that's a lot for me. So what I do is I go outside and I make a little nest. I have like my warm blankets and like my cushy cushions, and I hand out candy from my porch. Or get someone to help. I almost always have help on Halloween, even when I do nest. So, I mean, there are ways that it can be done. And there are ways it can be done. That's all I'm going to say. Get creative. Also, as far as candy goes, you don't have to get fancy with it. Subscribe for the pure overconsumption that is my treat bags. But something as simple as like little hard candies or little M&M things. Random this thing for some reason. Just any little thing. The only rule is it cannot be homemade and it has to be individually wrapped. So unfortunately, no popcorn balls, no witch's fingers, no candy apples. So no random circus peanuts just floating around the bag. 90s kids know. Anyway. So, yeah, you don't have to get fancy with the candy, but you do have to give out candy. And it has to be individually wrapped. The Jack-o'-lantern promises candy. Just putting that out there. Some people do toys, some people do toothbrushes. Don't be the toothbrush house. And that's actually going to bring me around to the point of Halloween. If you're still here, thank you so much. This is one of the things that I would like to be spread. Halloween is the night when the veil before our worlds is blah 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 blah. It's also about community. It's about getting to know your neighbors. Like, I don't have children. I don't go to the parent-teacher meetings. I don't see kids in the playground when they're hanging out with my children. So all my neighborhood really knows about me is that I'm the house with the inflatable pumpkins. When I was a kid, we knew people, like their houses, from what they gave out at Halloween. Like I said, don't be the toothbrush house. So it's about more than just evil spirits being, you know, appeased. It's about people. It's about getting to know your neighborhood. It's about teaching your children independence when they go trick-or-treating by themselves. Dude, trick-or-treating by yourself for the first time is like a rite of passage. So it's about more than the spoopy. It's about the community as well. What else was I going to say? Costumes. That was the other thing I was going to talk about. So, costumes don't have to be expensive. People hear costume and they think cosplay and they're like, well, I have to go get some foam and a foam cutter and some like epoxy, and you don't have to do any of that. Okay? Let me just give me a second. I'm a pumpkin. See? It's this. And I got a little vine here. And a little stem. I'm a pumpkin. And as long as you have the appropriate explanation of a costume, it doesn't have to be all that. I remember one year I went out as Dana Scully. I had a trench coat, and a tiny paper badge that just said FBI. And when people asked, what are you supposed to be? I took out the little paper badge and said, Dana Scully, FBI. Done. Although, you have to be careful with some of the costumes, because I went out one year as Biff Naked, but I was also a teenager, and they were like, no, you dress like that all the time. I had like a shirt and like goth. Anyway. So some people are jackasses, and just keep that in mind. If you go with a costume like this, and they say mean things, just know it's their problem, okay? It's not a you thing. I don't care what they say, they're the problem. Cool. Yeah. Costumes don't have to be fancy, they just have to be creative, I guess is what I'm saying. If you've made it this far, thank you so much, and please spread this message, because some people don't know that Canadian Halloween is for everybody. That's everything I have to say. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to like this if you like this. It's free. Liking, subscribing, and commenting are all completely free. They don't cost you a thing. So, if you liked this video at all, please like this video. And it's the very end of the video, and it's a very rambly video, so I have a sneaking suspicion that you may have actually liked this video when you were watching it, so just let me know. I like knowing. Also, if you're not yet and you want to, please subscribe. Like I said, it's free. It says subscribe, but it's not really a subscription. You don't have to pay anything. My channel will show up in your subscription tab. I always do this, but I think it's actually over here somewhere. Possibly. Anyway, it'll be in the subscription tab, and then there's a little blue dot that tells you whether or not I've uploaded. So, it's free. And it's free. Alright, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching, and please spread the message. And join me next week. I think I'm gonna do a tour of the studio, because I moved some stuff. So, maybe. It's either that or a bougie booze, because my partner bought some really fancy sake, and we were supposed to try it here, but I haven't had a chance yet, so join me next week to see which video won. Thank you again. Happy Halloween. Bye. Everybody, we are everyone. Come play with us. I don't know if that was encouraging or creepy. One of us, one of us. It's from the movie Freaks. It's a great movie. I highly recommend it. It's very of its time. Before you go and watch it. It's of its time, but it's a wonderful movie. And as far as cinematography and horror history goes, amazing.